Article 5. It is the bedrock of this alliance. No one should forget that. It's fundamental. I believe the strategic concept will re-emphasize the crucial importance of Article 5. Next, please. And we will all be reading the strategic concept, I think, very soon. What I would like to see in it, comprehensive approach, cyber, crisis management, missile defense. There are other ideas. Those are a few that we are thinking about from my vantage point and waiting to see what the nations decide. But this is an exciting moment for the alliance, and part of why I believe this alliance will be vital and will continue to sail on. Next, please. This is an alliance about military power. That's what we do and who we are. But, next, please, it's not an on and off switch. It's not as though NATO is only for high-end combat operations or we just go sit in our hangars and our barracks. It's a rheostat. You dial in the need, and it can range all the way from hard power special operations in Afghanistan all the way back to humanitarian flights going into Pakistan and everywhere in between. Next, please. So to conclude, I would offer you the vision statement of this company, this global brand, Wikipedia. The motto statement is a vision of a world in which every human being can freely share in the sum of all knowledge. Because that's what Wikipedia is. It's millions of people contributing information and millions of people taking that data, those facts and those ideas and sharing them. That's what a wiki is. So my proposition is, as we go forward into this turbulent 21st century, all of us need to participate in creating a world in which we can all share in the sum of all security. I think NATO has a significant role in that. Next, please. And I believe NATO will sail on. Thank you.
Admiral, that was fantastic, and I think you've validated my accolades at the start of this session that you are one of the most effective public advocates for the Alliance. I think that was extremely well done. I think you've gone a long way in the presentation to basically answer the discussion, the theme of this conversation, NATO, a regional alliance in a multipolar world. I think you've explained very well how NATO fits into this the complexity. I'd like to use my prerogative as chair to be able to ask the first question and then turn to General Chenook if you'd have a comment, a response, a question to add to that. I think your message on the Balkans, I think, was very relevant to helping us think through Afghanistan today. You very clearly made the point that our role in the Balkans still matters all these years after the focus of our military operations there. Secretary General Rasmussen, in describing Afghanistan, has used the word transition to frame the theme for the Lisbon Summit. To many critics of the alliance and to many ears in the region, transition sounds like a euphemism for withdrawal. I think your point on the Balkans underscored the longevity of a likely commitment. Given the reality that NATO in some respects is going to remain engaged for years in Afghanistan, how do you as SACEUR help prevent a stampede to the exits from forces in Afghanistan today as we deal with the reality of a politically imposed withdrawal by the Dutch, real budget constraints and cost cuts across Europe, the looming deadline that President Obama set for July 2011 for the beginning of a drawdown of U.S. forces? How do you manage that with the reality of the Balkans in the back of your mind?
That's a terrific question. First, someone was asking me about my medals as I was walking in. I think the mayor was, and I said every one of them is an accident of my youth. But I would point to the little blue one right there. It's my NATO medal for an Operation Sharp Guard, which had to do with events in the Balkans just over 10 years ago. And my feeling is, when I do look at that medal occasionally, in another 5 years, in another 10 years, I want that medal to still matter. I want us to continue to make progress in the Balkans. And I believe we will, and we are, in fact, as testament to that success, we are downsizing our presence. We were there at 15,000 in Kosovo. We're down under 10,000, and very soon I think we'll be under 5,000. So that sense of progress and engagement is what makes our sacrifices matter. As I look at Afghanistan, I feel exactly the same way, that we will not have a rush for the exits. I don't see one. We will not have a sudden, sharp collapse in our forces. We will not allow this to fall back. I think the opposite. You used the word, Damon, and it's the right word. It's on everybody's tongue these days, transition. And I hope in my presentation, when I talked about the Afghan security forces and their progress, you could feel that sense of transition, because that's what's coming. We are going to, beginning in the summer of 2011, we are going to, conditions-based, begin to slow down, withdraw some of our forces as we bring up Afghan security forces. And I am confident that plan will succeed. We have a terrific general who's in charge of that, General Dave Petraeus. All the reports I get, all that I see in my 7 trips in the last 15 months to Afghanistan tell me that we will continue to see improvement in the Afghan security forces to conduct that transition. To make sure we do that, what we need are trainers. We need great NATO trainers. Here in Poland, the OMLETs, the POMLETs, these are teams that train Army and police, are among the very best in Afghanistan. The work in Ghazni is superb, where they are partnered, the Poles are partnered with the Afghans, and it's an example of how we will conduct this transition with great trainers. As to our Dutch friends who have done terrific work in Afghanistan, they are reducing their combat forces, but I am very hopeful that they will remain in significant numbers as part of this training mission. So we will see a pivot from a combat-led role to a training-led role, and I believe that over the next period, beginning with the transition in the summer of 2011, we will be very successful with that approach. We will look at our Afghan medals in a decade and feel that they mattered, just like I look at mine from the Balkans today, and I feel it continues to matter.
Thank you for that. I think you helped frame the expectations in a very helpful way.